winter, and check out these monkeys. Now, I've seen these monkeys before, but I'm just trying to remember where they are. What is going on, guys? It's Zigzag here. Welcome back to another Geoguessr video. Today we are back on the Zigzag challenge maps. It's one of my favorite ways to play the game, where you guys send in really difficult challenge maps to me and I see how I can go. So we got 5 maps for today. 1 minute per round is the normal rules. You can submit your maps if you want to on my Discord inside the challenge map submission page. So let's head straight into this one. Let's actually see what the kind of benchmark for scores are here. So 4,000 points seems to be the best so far out of 12 people who played it. So when he says it's kind of hard in the description there, I think I do believe him. And so I actually didn't set a time limit here, but we'll try and go for 1 minute per round. And so let's check it out. So, like we've got like some shipping containers. This kind of looks like almost like Soviet architecture. We're up on a hill. Yeah, like a Russian license plate as well. So I'm wondering about Svalbard, and I'm just wondering about anywhere in northern Russia. It seems like it's going to be difficult. Ocean to our north here. But yeah, seems like it is a Russian number plate, as far as I can tell. But yeah, there seems to be also significant towns, so it makes things difficult. I was thinking like somewhere around here could be possible. I'm not really sure if there's enough hills in this kind of area, but that's kind of what I'm thinking. Like Norilsk area, so maybe even like further up this way maybe? Or I don't really know if these towns are actually quite big enough, because yeah, it doesn't really seem like there's anything going on there, so... doesn't make things easy for us. Can we see any islands out there? Not well, yeah, we see we're in kind of like a big bay here, so I think something like this or like this would make sense. But yeah, we need some hills, and I don't see any. Anyway, we'll just go around here because it's at least like killing nearby there, so maybe it just doesn't show up on the map. Let's see. And okay, so we were not too far away, but Pevek was the correct one. So actually, there's the bay. That would make sense if only I looked a bit further over that direction. Not a terrific start though. Next one, looking pretty green. We're on a beach somewhere. Oh yeah, this one's definitely very difficult. Look at this stilts house, it's interesting. I was immediately like thinking Maldives or something, but maybe that's too obvious. So, yeah, I mean, these trees look kind of like Southeast Asian to me, if I had to say anything, but hey, yeah, these ones like with like the white patches on them, like they're like the rubber trees or whatever, I think, so... Maybe I'm thinking of like an Indonesian island here. That would make sense for the stilts house and the thatched roof. So I think I'll just go for that. Like maybe out on one of these islands here, I think would make sense. So I think I will just go for that. Let's see. Okay, so it was actually over here in these islands here off the coast of Mozambique. Okay, so I've never had a round on there. That's pretty cool. But 2 points is obviously not the best. Now, had we gone in Maldives, we would have had at least a few more points, but yeah, certainly very difficult. We've got to start thinking more outside the box for these. Anyway, this one is a big beach. Looking very cold climate. Yeah, okay, so is this an ocean? I feel like this might be a sea. I feel like it might be bait and it might actually be a sea. We have some people there. Obviously this one has just like very few good clues, so it makes it hard. I was thinking like Baltics or, you know, Atlantic Ocean coast of the US, or maybe even like somewhere in Central Europe on one of the seas, or maybe in Caspian or Black Sea as well. So I have lots of thoughts here. Let's look at the trees a little more. They look more they might look more American actually. Whoa, look at those kids. They're like ghosts. That's so strange. That's actually kind of freaky. Where are those kids actually? Interesting. But yeah, that's some like ghost children there. Very, very curious. But they actually kind of look Asian, so maybe actually, yeah, they have black hair. So I am actually thinking of going in like North Korea or like northern China or something like that. I mean, we have the ocean over to our north, so maybe like on this side of North Korea or something. This is like extremely risky, but given the fact that I feel like they look Asian and I've got to take every clue I can get, I'm gonna go for that. And okay, so it was China in Hainan, so I only get 200 points. Kind of disappointing, but I did not expect it to look so cold down there. Regardless, yeah, I mean, that would make sense. It looks like the actual right area. There's the beach, and there was water to the north, so seems to be correctly located. Definitely tough, though. Okay, blue roofs here, so immediately when I see that, I think of Asia, but kind of looks more Latin American, to be fair. Bunch of pigs here. Okay, so we got like some Crocs, like IKEA themed Crocs. Okay, so it says something center. So maybe an English speaking country or somewhere where English is pretty prevalent. We've got an American car here. This one I'm not so sure about. It might be like a Dacia, so like a Romanian car, I think. I'm not really too sure with that. Corrugated iron, like these blue roofs are very like strange to me. Southeast Asia. The architecture definitely reminds me more of Latin America. That's the problem. So maybe, yeah, I guess what I was thinking is maybe like Suriname or Guyana or something like that. And the fact that there's some English in the background makes me want to go like Guyana or something. Is it too hilly though? Because that's a very flat country, Guyana. It might be too hilly, but to be honest, I don't really have any better idea, and we're probably about to run out of what we would have had in terms of time. So I'm going to go for that. We'll see. And okay, this one was in the Indian Islands out here. Okay, so that's why we had a bit of English. We got the right latitude, but 0 points. So 16,000 kilometers away is not fantastic. Pretty much as far away as you can get. But yeah, I mean, that was a tough one for sure. Okay, so we're going to end this on a very low score, I think. Okay, so here we have like a big metal plate. Interesting. Kind of feels like, I don't know what it feels like. We got like some interesting brush plants here. Yeah, I have no idea for this one. It seemed like I'd need to like have a botany major to understand what's going on here, I think. Sun is to the south, so perhaps Northern Hemisphere. I honestly feel like any random guess would probably be better than whatever I can actually work out here. I could tell you places I don't think it is, but that's not really too useful, is it? It could even be Australia. It's possible. Doesn't really feel like it with this brick, but yeah. I kind of like Ukraine or like, I don't know, like, I don't really know with these trees. It's very strange, but this like kind of brickwork kind of reminds me of post-Soviet something. So just go for Ukraine. Ukraine's on the mind, I guess, but yeah, I'm just gonna go for that. I have no idea here. Will it be a good guess? No, it will not. This one was in the Midway Atoll. So I've never seen anything like that in the Midway Atoll, but we were in the middle of a forest. So that one is the strangest of the lot for me. Anyway, we got 396 points. Only one decent guess there. Everything else was kind of bad. Obviously, we got the country right once as well, but that was, you know, Russia's too big. So anyway, we'll head on to the next one. Hopefully get some more luck this time. Well, he likes snow in winter, so that's going to be a clue for this one. And the top scores are about 14,000 points. So let's set the time limit to 1 minute here and see how we go. Okay, so here's the first one. Yes, we're definitely in the middle of the winter. And check out these monkeys. Now, I've seen these monkeys before, but I'm trying to remember where they are. So, like, Bhutan or... No, is it like Japan or something where these monkeys... I can't remember where these monkeys live, actually. I've definitely seen like videos of them like chilling in the hot springs here, but I just can't remember where. So taking a look at these people, like everyone's white, but I don't think this is okay. Here's some people. These people probably live where this is. They're probably not tourists, but I don't know if they're Japanese or maybe, I mean, they could be Himalayan as well. It's always possible. I think I have to go for Japan here, right up in the mountains, but. Yeah, I think they do have monkeys in Japan. I do think so. I just can't really remember whereabouts I'd put it. So maybe near Mount Fuji. I don't know. But I'm sure, like, if only I remembered that, then I'd definitely have a good score here. Otherwise, we're gonna have to wait and see. 4.5k is a very good start for a challenge map. So we were actually up here. It wasn't Japan, so I'm pleased with that. Glad I remembered those monkeys. They're very cute. Yeah, that's a really good start. Okay, next one, Northern Lights. Presumably somewhere in the Northern Hemisphere here, you would think. The sun is to the south as well, directly, so that's good. Okay, so we got snow. Thin trees here. I feel like someone was telling me thin trees more likely for North America rather than Europe, but I can't actually remember if that's a good clue or not. Maybe I will go for Northern Canada here, though. I mean, I feel like more people live up here. That would be kind of more likely to see them, you know, all the way up here, but... Is that a building in the background or a hill? It's probably a hill, so maybe I do just prefer Norway here. Northern Lights, I feel like you can see it anywhere, like in this region of the country. Although I really have no idea. But yeah, it's really not much to go off of, is it, at all? I'm just going to hedge my bets and say, because there's more people who live up here, that Norway is going to be the better guess. And we want somewhere that's hilly but not too mountainous, so maybe something like that, or... Yeah, kind of like the midway in the country is... I'm glad I left it there and didn't go back down here, because we get another 4.2k. So we're in northern Finland, which makes sense, because it's quite hilly in northern Finland. That's why we can see some hills in the background. 4.2k, very good. And the logic of just going where more people live is worked out nice. So this is really interesting architecture that we can see over here, kind of almost Asian looking, but also kind of North American looking. So I'm trying to work out, see if there's anything definitive here. This one could be like a ski resort in the Rocky Mountains, I feel like. It's a very like modern building to build in the middle of like the Alps or like Alpine region. But having said that, I'm wondering if it could be Pyrenees or Alps. Just because, well, it kind of looks like it. Like this kind of rock structure reminds me of the kind of buildings you'd see in Andorra. So could we be there? I mean, the rest of the buildings don't necessarily remind me of Andorra, but the longer I look at it, the more I kind of like that. These hills in the background certainly could fit. These buildings, unfortunately, we can't see. Seem like some log cabins or something. So yeah, this little thing here kind of reminds me of Austria or something. So definitely many different things, many different directions I could go here. I think in my last seconds I will just click Andorra here, but I might regret that. It might just be like Austria or something. And no, it was actually over here near Sacramento in Olympic Valley ski resorts. So my initial thought of North America or Asia was fitting because we were in Pacific North America. But yeah, 14 points. We're on the right latitude. Unfortunately, it doesn't really mean much in a winter map, and we don't get anything for it. So this one's interesting. Big ski resort here. Look at all these high-rise buildings. We got snowmobile coverage. So I'm looking for any flag or anything. I'm wondering, could this be like Romania or something like that in the hills? I'm not really sure if they have mountains this tall, but for whatever reason, like the architecture kind of reminded me of Romania or something like that. It doesn't really remind me of Alps that much. That's the problem. But it could be. It could just be like a, you know, it could be in Austria or something like that. Regardless, I kind of want to, like, where are the highest mountains in Romania? So I feel like if we were up here, we could be in like a ski resort. Are there any though? That's the question. So we've got 20 seconds left. Let's see if we can find any proper ski resorts here. Otherwise, maybe like Slovakia, because I don't really see any thus far. Yeah, so maybe I'll actually go Slovakia instead, because it just doesn't quite strike me as like Alps enough. Okay, so here's some. So let's go there. Not really confident here, but I think it is Europe. And man, so it was just France. Okay, so that would explain the architecture. But still, I wasn't entirely sure. So that was Winter Park. And okay, so we weren't too far away from here. Even in a Switzerland guess wouldn't have gotten us that many points, but yeah, what can you say? We're on 11,000 points, so we can be the top dog here if we get it correct here. So here we have a bunch of penguins, so Southern Hemisphere this time. Ocean to the north, which is interesting. Kind of got like a cove of cliffs. Okay, so New Zealand, Australia, South Africa, maybe even elsewhere. Maybe I like Australia or New Zealand. Looking at this in the background, definitely hilly, but not much else. So I remember last time I had penguins, it was like down here or something like this. Now, I don't really necessarily think we're there, but yeah, maybe something like this. I mean, we had the ocean to the north, which is interesting, so I don't know, maybe something like this. I don't really have the best idea. Could be around here, or even one thing I was considering was could be like Phillip Island or something like that. Now, that would be tragic if I said it and it wasn't there. But yeah, I don't really know if that's like a right cove. If we were like over here, maybe, but I think I'll just keep it at New Zealand. Kind of feels more likely to me. Let's see. Hopefully it's not. Oh, wow. So it was actually Falkland Islands. Okay, that makes sense. At the end of the day, that was always going to be a tough location to get. Maybe I could have gotten it, but yeah, my guess... yeah, again, right latitude, but not too good. So you can see whenever we guessed, we were always in the ballpark in some way, you know, decent latitude, or, you know, our first two guesses were really nice. But I'm happy with 11k. That definitely puts us up there with some of the better guesses. And let's go for the next one. So I wonder if you'll get these, because I for sure wouldn't. So that's what Mr. Sharkfin says. Well, seems like some people did decently get them. A bunch of people around 10k, and then 13k for Chuma. So let us see if we are able to do well here. Okay, so first round, loading in here. We got a hiker in some very tall mountains. Definitely these ones are super tall. Some greenery in the background here. This guy's got his snowpole, so it looks pretty interesting. I am thinking that this is probably going to be somewhere in China or maybe Latin America. We got like, this is like a really interesting like lake and whatnot. It's very green, so I guess like these, well, it's not very green, but there are like forests on these hills, so maybe not China, because often you get like more bare mountains. So I'm actually not too sure for this one. Could be, the one thing I do consider is it could be like on these mountains here. A little bit further south than Santiago, maybe like around here on the border. That could make sense. Where's the sun? The sun is to the north, so Southern Hemisphere is, you know, feeling more possible for that reason. And if it was directly north like that, maybe even further south, like I said. So I kind of like that guess. I actually do think we're going to be in the right area here. It's a matter of how far north or south. And yes, that I was right. Ends up being right near Puerto Williams. So yeah, tough round. We get the right continent, so 1.8k is fine, but should have gotten closer really. Okay, here's an interesting one. So he thinks it's going to be tough. I wonder where this is. So a lot of white brick. We have a blue strip on the plate. Oh, do we have a little bit of yellow on the plate there? Is the question. Because I don't know if it's just the flower in front of it or if that's a bit of yellow on the plate. It certainly does not look like Portugal. I'll say that much. I think if I had to go off my gut feeling with the architecture and whatnot, I would say this is probably Poland or Lithuania. Probably Poland would be my top choice here, but yeah, I guess we'll keep looking here. This house particularly kind of looks a bit Polish. These poles kind of look quite Baltic though, so I'm not too sure. There's no holes in them. Neither for those ones, I don't think. So maybe I'll switch to Lithuania. I'm not really sure. But no, I think this white brick reminds me more of Poland. So yeah, I think Poland it is. I might go up in the north here, maybe in like Gdansk or I don't really know, maybe like Elbląg here. Let's see. Okay, so it was Lithuania, my second choice. Ends up being up here, so 4,000 points is, you know, by all means a decent score, but not fantastic either. Probably should have gotten the country. Yeah, I guess the fact that there wasn't Holy Poland should have been the thing that tipped me over. Anyway, so we have some holes inside the snow here. Big mountains. Antarctica? I don't know, could this be Antarctica? Doesn't seem to be any structures anywhere, seems to be very mountainous, so I don't know, could we be around here? I kind of like that best, to be honest. I'm not really sure where this is going to be, but it would make sense for it to be Antarctica. Otherwise, you know, somewhere in like Chile again, that would be kind of, that would be a dog move to do twice down here. Otherwise, yeah, just somewhere like in Bhutan or Nepal or something like that would make sense as well, but maybe it's too obvious. It could be in like the US or Canada as well, let's not forget, but I'm going to go in Antarctica because I like it. And okay, this one was in Slovakia. I would not have gotten that. That was certainly tough. Way up in the top of the mountains, I did not expect it to look so cold. So, you know, that's a baity round when I'm guessing, well, it's actually in Poland, but when I'm guessing Antarctica for Poland. Maybe that's a thumbnail round right there, I must say. Anyway, here's the next one. All white road lines. Black number plate. Okay, this one is throwing some spanners in the works, I must say. Could this be Caribbean? Or is it Africa? All white road lines is interesting. Where's the steering wheel? Steering wheel's on the left-hand side. It looks like it's closer to us, I think. So, should be a right-hand drive country. That would make sense for how he's pulled up from the road here. Okay. Yeah, I do think so, because it looks like people have pulled out like that. Because they've probably been on the dirt and tracked the dirt over here. So that would make sense. So where are these dashes on the outside of the road? I have a theory. I think like these dashes on the road kind of remind me of like French locations, something like Guadeloupe on Montserrat or something. That's not French. Or is it? I can't actually remember with these ones. They've often passed through different European countries. So I'm going to go Guadeloupe here. Ends up being in New Caledonia. So I had the right kind of idea. Although, having thought about it a little bit more, I did think some of the vegetation reminded me of like South America. So maybe Southern Hemisphere, I could have gotten that. But yeah, I'm glad that I did get the country right at least. It should flash up that I got the country right? Or maybe Guadeloupe doesn't belong to France. I thought it did though. Looks like they speak French at least, so I don't know why it didn't count as a correct country. Here's the next one. Let's not waste too much time. So we're very high up on a drone shot here. I think these are trees actually, so super high up. Big rivers here. This is interesting. This is one of the coolest rounds I've had in a while. I'm just trying to think where it could be. I've seen similar landscapes definitely in USA or Yemen. I was thinking Yemen. Do we have like a river running through? So maybe something like this. These are a bit too green though. I don't know. I kind of think I like it actually. Just trying to see if there's any bigger rivers here. Could we be on this river? It's certainly a big river. Maybe something like that. Maybe over here even. I don't know. Maybe let's try there because I can see it being a little bit green. I don't know. Otherwise USA, I think. So let's see if it's one of those two indeed. And wow, this is Russia? Okay, wow, I cannot believe how dry that looked. I mean, It did look cold, but it also looked dry, so it does make sense ultimately. But yeah, you can see how like it turns a little yellow there on the Google, so maybe that does hint that it's actually quite a low rainfall area. Anyhow, I have not done a good job there. 5,900, and pretty much all those points come from that guess there. So indeed, it was tough. I could have done better here. I could have switched to further south. And that would have at least gotten us up near 10,000, but regardless, we end up with 5,000, so yeah, not quite as good as some of those other guys. Emsme comes through with a 4 zigzag smiley face. Okay, that's kind of ominous. So we have 11,000 points as the top one by lentils, so we'll see how we go here. Okay, so first round, we're on the top of a mountain. What does this guy look like? First off, we're going to use the phenotype. Kind of looks broadly South Asian, Central Asian, perhaps. Very, very tall mountains here. Okay, so I like Pakistan, because it's like dry, tall mountains, but also a good amount of greenery. I like Pakistan best here, I think. Especially with these tall mountains. So, yeah, getting up towards the north, perhaps near Islamabad. I think that's just like an easy send, right? Could be elsewhere in Central Asia. I mean, I could even see him being Afghani as well. So yeah, so I think Afghanistan or Pakistan makes most sense here. Could be one of the Central Republics. It could be India. Could be India. Let's be fair, but yeah, I think like somewhere near Islamabad makes sense here. So let's see if I'm right about that. And okay, so it was one of the republics. It ends up being in Kyrgyzstan. Wow, in the far reaches of Kyrgyzstan, I believe. Let's see if I'm right. Yeah. So yeah, in the far reaches of Kyrgyzstan, and a super tough round, but we still pulled decent points. Let's be fair on ourselves here, still decent. What's the next one here? Okay, so what are these people looking like? These guys look like Aussies, I must say. So I wonder if I'm near Australia. These guys like Aussies or New Zealanders or something like that, because I'm pretty sure Emsme is a New Zealander. Well, I could be confused, but I'm pretty sure she is. So anyway, looking at this plant, could be New Zealander plant actually. This one. But it feels very tropical at the same time, so maybe just Southeast Asia is safer. I don't really know. What is up with these fellas? Hard to say. Trying to look for any other clues here. Jack Daniels top whiskey PAQ, something like that. Not really sure what that would mean. But yeah, somewhere, I don't know. Bali? I feel like a lot of people who look like this would travel to Bali, but I don't really think Bali quite has this kind of like tropical rainforest going on. Philippines. I don't know. Maybe it is just New Zealand. I can't think of anything better, so let's just go for that. Ends up being in Jamaica. Okay. I don't really think there's anywhere in New Zealand that looks like that. That was kind of a silly guess. I just had no idea. So there we go. We're in Drapers. North coast of Jamaica. Never seen around like that before. And that's where those hooligans were from. I wondered who they were. If they were actually Aussies or something, because they look like it to me. Maybe just American tourists. Next one's interesting. We've got like a ski resort up here, very snowy. Got a cross, so perhaps a Christian country. Okay, interesting. Everyone's wearing a lot of gear. Looking at these houses down here, kind of don't really like feel so Western European. So I'm wondering if like this could even be Russia or I don't know. I don't know where this is so far. Korea? I don't know if Korea has ski resorts like this, but I'm trying to look at some of these other people. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is with this kind of architecture. It's super interesting how like round it is. This guy, clearly not Korean. Maybe girl, actually. Probably got some hair up in there. 14 seconds left and I have no idea. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, because it's a Christian country, I might go, like, in Georgia or something. I don't really know what this, like, I don't know what's up with this architecture, so I'm just gonna go there. Let's see. New Zealand, wow. Okay. So, Mount Hutt, ski area. So, should have swapped my guesses for the last two countries, and I would have at least had some decent points there. But, there you go, near Christchurch. Okay, so... yeah, I mean, it looked like a nice place. I was totally thrown off by the architecture. Those houses, those yellow houses down the hill, definitely didn't remind me of New Zealand houses, but what can you do? Maybe I should have looked at the sun as well. Okay, so here's an interesting pole. This is kind of like a French-style pole, so I'm wondering if we're in French Africa here. That would be my hunch. So maybe like Cameroon or maybe Central African Republic or something like that. Kind of just want to guess out here. Somewhere in the rainforest. Could even be Democratic Republic of Congo or Republic of Congo. Let's just guess like right here where the three countries meet. I feel like that would be a nice little location. Probably guaranteed to at least get some good points here, so let's see. Okay, Burkina Faso. Did not expect it to be so green out there. But of course it can be. I mean, we're not that far from northern Nigeria, and yeah, Tamale gets pretty green, so that actually does make sense in hindsight, but yeah, still not a great score, obviously. Okay, here's the next one. Immediately, not too sure. Feeling Southern Hemisphere, this kind of like foliage definitely looks like it. Big mountains again. Could this be New Zealand? Another cross, interestingly. This one's very interesting. Yeah, big mountains. I'm just not sure. I think this one's going to be like Chile or Argentina, personally. Looking at this kind of greenery reminds me more of those countries. So 30 seconds left. We're in a bay. We can see a lot of land with big mountains to our south. So thinking of something around here. I mean, Puerto Williams is a favorite spot, so maybe we're just on this side, on the Argentinian side this time. I don't really know. It's a favorite spot, so I actually kind of like it. We can see those big mountains, which we have seen a couple of times now, and we have big mountains to our north as well. So I say, why not? We could be on this island here. I don't really know if it has big enough mountains, but it would kind of make sense. So let's go for that. Come on, be close, be close. Oh, that's not bad. 272 kilometers away. We're on this one. So we're actually over in Chile. Yeah, we're actually over in Chile here, but so not the right country, but very close indeed. Happy with that. 7,900. I think that puts us up, you know, not too far away from the better scorers here. And maybe I should have gotten a better score on round 1. Otherwise, that New Zealand one was super tough. The Jamaican one, I can say I never would have gotten, but yeah. Okay, here's the, I think, either the last or the second last one for today. Villager game, 47, coming through 8 locations. Normally I prefer 5, but that's okay. And it seems like only 2 people played here, 13,000 and 6,000 respectively. So let's see if we can get above 13,000. I would like to take 1 win for the video. That'll be good. Okay, so here's the first one. Yellow outside line with a white double inside line. So, I have some thoughts here. It appears to be that we're driving right hand side of the road. That seems pretty obvious to me. So maybe like, could it be like West Bank, or I'm just thinking of places without, like Gaza Strip or West Bank, somewhere without proper official coverage. Otherwise, perhaps Syria or Lebanon. I don't think Cyprus drives left. I think so. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of like Gaza Strip just because I can't really think of why this wouldn't be official coverage otherwise, you know. Well, doesn't really give us any clue on top of the car there. So I think I will go for that. Let's guess like on this road here. Let's see. Could we be close here? Okay, this was Azerbaijan. Wow, that's definitely a tough round. We're on Pirallahy Island, and I've never heard of that spot. And wow, that is a tough round there. Still decent points because we're in the right general region, so we can still get that 13k for sure. Next one's no easier though. Oh, so we have like a red roof kind of cottage over there. Interesting. Biggish mountains, but not the biggest. People sitting on the kind of benches here. I'm thinking US or Canada. This one should be US or Canada, surely. See if the sun will help us. Sun is to the south, so Northern Hemisphere would make sense. Okay. So, is it going to be East or West Coast? I could easily see this being part of like the Appalachians, actually. So, I guess, like, where does it get kind of taller? Maybe somewhere in here. I could definitely see that. This might be, it's a bit more risky than going out here where there are definitely more mountains, but I kind of like it. This house is kind of ambiguous. Now, this could be in Europe. And the more I look at this house with the red roof is definitely a European thing to do. So it could be like Romania or Poland or like Serbia or something like that. I could definitely see it, but as it stands, I still think I like my guess better, so let's see here. And okay, this one was in Turkey. Another one in this part of the world here, interestingly, but yeah, that's not an easy round for sure. Well, we got the right latitude at least. You must say my latitude guessing has been on point today, even if my actual guesses have not been. Blue strip on the plate here, so feeling Baltic perhaps. Yeah, this one should be Baltic. A lot of white flowers. White flowers, I think like white and purple flowers are often pretty common over in Estonia, so I'm just thinking of Estonia here. That would make sense. Yeah, what else can I really say here? If it's gonna be somewhere like extreme. It's gonna be like all the way down here, or all the way over here, or maybe on one of the islands as well. It doesn't feel as much like the islands. I think this is mainland, so I'm gonna guess right on the border here. I don't think any of these islands here have coverage, so I'm gonna guess right near the Russian border here. Let's see if that works. Okay, so we're actually pretty close there, 65 kilometers away. It's a nice guess. So I wonder what was really special about that round, because I didn't find it too difficult. But yeah, I mean, it's still difficult in its own right, of course. So 13,000 still within reach with 2 good scores. Interesting little car here. That's an Australian car, actually. That's a Ford Falcon. So I was not expecting to be seeing Australia here, but I think it is. Okay, so let's see here. I cannot read that, but we've got an Australian flag, so we know we're in Oz. It's good. So I would be expecting that we're somewhere in the center here. But yeah, even without those stickers, I would have been able to get this Australia, because it's an Australian make of car. It's very red soil, kind of feels, it could easily be South Australia. I think we're going to be somewhere along the NT border, from here around to here. There's a lot of Aboriginal communities out here, but it's probably a bit hilly around there, so maybe I'll actually go the other side here. Simpson Desert, kind of feels like, could be like Birdsville area here, so maybe I'll go near Birdsville. I don't really think there's really anything out here, but okay, so that's pretty good. As I said, somewhere along here, and oh man, this is the corner. I feel like I've had a round there before, but we're only 164 kilometers away, so I'm actually pretty happy with that, even though maybe I could have, like, known that it was, I don't know. I don't think I've ever had that round, obviously, but I do think that I could have happened to have gotten there. I may have clicked here. Like, a couple of my friends went on a road trip there, and they were running between the 3 borders, which is pretty funny, but regardless, yeah, 4.5k is good. Let's head on to the next one and see. We can still get it, so 13k is still within our reach here. Win is a decent guess. This one is very dry. Bucket hat wearing. Okay, holding the selfie stick or whatever. Got like a river. Very bare mountains. I don't know. USA? Could this be USA? Could even be like Scotland, the more I look at it. Or like Wales. Would that be too ballsy? I kind of like Scotland here, even though, as strange as it sounds, this might be, this is either one that's going to like look really good or really bad, but for whatever reason, something just struck me about it. It might be too dry, but I feel like if we were super far north, just like in these ones here, that it could make sense, like if we're in Benmore or something like that. I don't know. Otherwise, like obviously like Caucasus or North America, somewhere out here, or I don't know, it could be anywhere up here. I don't really know, but I'm going to go for Scotland here. Come on. Oh no. This one was in Russia. Oh, Kazakhstan, sorry. And we were in Aksu Zabagli Nature Reserves. 11,000 points is still good. Nice Australia guess. Nice Estonia guess. Decent guess for the Azerbaijan round. Didn't realize they use yellow outside lines there. That's pretty cool. Otherwise, everything else is a bit of a fail. And so do we have the last one? No, we do not. So that is it for the video, guys. Thank you very much for watching all the way to the end. Yeah. Do submit your own maps. I'm slowly getting through them, but always like it. And yeah, guessing Antarctica for Poland. I don't think I've ever quite done that. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Yeah. Till next time, and bye-bye.